And so, So praise God. What happened? What's your name? Help me with your name.
My name's Clarence Bork.
Clarence, what happened, Clarence?
Well, we went out, Robin
Hi.
and Nina and I,
Yeah.
with the instructions, but we got on there, everybody was running to doors. And before we went, we prayed that God would open up a way.
Yeah.
And not only that, but we declared the kingdom of God is at hand.
Yeah.
Right? So we set it up that way. When we got there, everybody was running to doors and knocking.
Yeah.
And when we approached, the guy was standing on the steps having a cigarette.
Yeah.
So
So I was able to just say, tell him my name and that we're from a local church.
What was his name? Do you remember?
Brian.
Brian, yeah.
Yeah, and he's at number 24.
that's right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so anyways, so I just said, we'd like to bless you and pray for you and see, anything you'd like us to pray about for 2020. And he said wealth. And so I just said, I prayed that God would reveal himself to him right now, like a picture.
Yeah.
Something that would make him know that God is real, the living God.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could see he was so engaged and kind of, feeling, what are these people about? But he was engaged with, you could see Holy Spirit moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what happened? Did he get saved? Did what?
So he allowed me to pray for him, then Nina prayed.
Uh-huh.
And I'm hanging back,
And
right?
then Clarence.
Yeah.
So,
So what happened, Nina?
So I stepped in, I could sense the Spirit on him, and I was looking through his eyes, right?
Yeah.
That was the gift. And so I was just praying that, just told him that God knows the numbered hairs on his head,
Yep.
and that he had put him together in his mother's womb. He had knit him together.
Yeah.
And that was really, you could see the Spirit was moving on him. So I just prayed that prayer. And then Clarence asked him to step down, and if it was okay that we laid hands on him to pray over
the
him.
two girls were anointed. They were standing there and they were kind of doing this, they were like at the altar, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always waiting for my turn, and I asked them to step down, and I laid hands on them. And then I said, do you know the Lord as your Savior? He said, no. Well, I said, would you like to? And he said, yes.
Yes.
This territory is ready for us.
Yeah. So hold on. So stay on topic here. What happened? So he prayed.
So I led him in the sinner's prayer. I told him, according to Romans 10, 9, 10, and 13, if you believe in your heart, you confess with your mouth that Jesus rose from the dead, you're going to be saved. I said, can you do that? He said, yes. So I led him into the sinner's prayer, and I said, now God's your Father.
Yeah.
That's what I told him right there. And he looked at me like shocked when we were done.
Yeah.
Because he was shocked at what God was doing in his life.
I love it.
And then I remember, John, in 2008 when you had the all-night prayer and we anointed the down here, right? What happened in your house afterwards? This place is ready for harvest.
Amen.
The Lord reminded me of that night.
Amen.
Then we went to Walmart. Robin had to go home, and we went to Walmart, and there was a man smoking a cigarette in the parking lot. So we parked, and I headed right for him. We started talking about the cornfields.
You're anointed with people with cigarettes.
Oh, I tell you. Yeah, I didn't notice that. So anyways, I spoke to him, got into the conversation. His wife jumps out of the truck, and she starts a conversation. I'm always looking for an open door where I can kick in the Word of God into them. And then we asked her what she was doing. She says, I work as a PSW. Oh, I said, there's a story in the Bible about you. She says, oh, really? Yeah. I said, it's the sheep and the goat. You're a sheep. You're going out there and you're looking after people. Do you mind if I pray for her? Hands on her shoulder. Nina laid hands on her as well. And she almost went down in the spirit. But Nina said to her, and I've had dreams of people falling flat on their faces.
Yeah.
And she said, are you okay? And she recovered. Oh, yeah, I'm okay. She almost went down. And then we headed in, and there's a guy, the buggy guy, and his name is James Muir. And we approached him. I said, started talking with him again, and I asked him if he was saved, and he said, yeah. Well, I said, do you know what it means? He says, no. Then he referred to Pastor John. He said, I've been up there. He's a nice guy. He's helped me several times. And it was such a beautiful report to hear. There was a church and a pastor that cared for people outside the church. It was unbelievable. It blessed me. And then I said, can I lead you in the sinner's prayer? And I led him into the sinner's prayer, and then I looked at him, I said, "You're my brother," and I almost broke down crying in front of him. I just, it touched my heart to know.
Help me with your name again.
My name's Judy.
Judy, what happened? Or what was wrong before?
I was born with a lazy eye, and that's not just that it wandered, but that I'm missing like layers, so which causes my vision in my left eye to render me legally blind. And my mom went to Catherine Coleman back in the 70s, and she prayed that my eyes would stop moving because she thought if they would stop wandering on their own, then that would correct my vision. And it didn't, but it did stop them from wandering. And I have had prayer, and I've gone for prayer, and I've had words of knowledge that I will have proper sight in this left eye, right? And I have felt the presence of the Lord on it before. But it was light, but it was like God letting me know that He was in it and He was with me. And then last night when I came, and Tom called out anybody who had blurry vision in their left eye, and I came forward, and when Tom put his hand like this, like the heel of his hand on my eyeball, I felt that. Like we would all physically feel that, but I felt it. You know what I mean? And I felt it all night long. The feeling never left. The touch was there. And it was God reminding me that He's on it. He's on the job. And some pain came with it. So I knew that some changes were happening. Some physical, literal changes are happening to my eye. So I have never not seen out of my eye without completely being blurry. And when we were up here worshiping, and when the worship was over and the lights came up, I saw these strips of black tape here on the floor, but much more clearly. Not completely, but it's there. It's a progressive healing, and I claim it.
The other thing was 2 nights ago, Tom called out for people with grain allergies, and I'm thinking, well, I don't exactly have an allergy, but then he said gluten-free, and I thought, okay, so, or I had that, gluten. So I've had to eat gluten-free for quite a number of years now, and it doesn't sound like, I mean, a lot of people do it, and anyway, I had very bad physical effects if I had gluten, and it's hard to find gluten-free food, especially when you're traveling. So I came up and thinking, yes, Lord, I'd really like to get rid of this, so I don't have this restriction when I'm traveling, and I feel it's insulting to my hosts and hostesses when they say, I can't eat that, you know? And so all of a sudden when Tom's praying, it feels like somebody gave me a good Smith Wigglesworth punch right here.
I didn't do it, I promise.
And all of a sudden I went, ugh! You know, it just came out. And I crunched over, and I just knew, and I felt later like I'd really been physically hit in my muscles here, and it went away quickly. But I went right into the cafeteria after the service, and there were all Christmas cookies and stuff that I couldn't touch, and I thought, I'm going to prove to the enemy that this healing happened. So I ate 3 cookies for an hour. Nothing happened to me physically. The next morning I had shreddies.
Everybody, Tom Scarella. Listen, this is our friend. Help us with your name.
Karen.
Karen. And so we met Karen here in Ontario, Port Perry, Ontario. And I had a word of knowledge last night about people with trauma. And so she came and she went and received. You tell the story. She had this brace on her hand when she came tonight. So you tell the story. What happened?
Okay, so yesterday he called people for trauma of the ears, but I didn't go up. I just sat in my seat and I accepted it. The ringing went away. So today...
Where did you get the ringing from?
The accident I had 2 years ago.
She had a car accident
2 years ago.
And it messed up your
and
wrist.
It messed up my arm, so I have thoracic outlet syndrome where I need surgery because it's cutting off the circulation of my nerves and my veins to my hands. So I had to wear this. I couldn't take it off, only to take a shower until the surgery.
Yeah.
There's only one surgeon in Ontario.
Wow.
Only one, and I'm still on the waiting list.
Wow.
So all the nerves in my fingers, all the muscles got damaged, so I couldn't grab anything. I couldn't hold my phone, I couldn't grab a cup of coffee. So I had to have this in here.
Immobilized.
Yes. And it left bruises. You know, it made my hands skinny. But you said yesterday, you were talking about the woman who touched Jesus' cloak.
Yeah.
What she said before she did it.
Yeah.
So in my bathroom today, I said, I am going to the revival tonight. And I'm going to let Tom Sorello touch my hand, and Jesus is going to use him to heal me.
Yeah.
He called me up because of what was going on with my hands. And now I can do this.
For the first, you couldn't hold a cup of coffee. You couldn't squeeze it. Look at that. Is that awesome, you guys?
My fingers could bend no more.
Ah, hallelujah.
And this had no muscle strength in it at all.
Just awesome.
And on top of that, he also called for migraines. And I've been having migraines for the past 2 days. But as he was praying for everyone else, I said, I'm going to grab that. My migraine went away.
Ah, hallelujah.
I can't wait to see what God has for me tomorrow.
I love it.
Okay,
Awesome.
I'm not telling you what else is wrong with me.
Yeah.
There's more, but I am expecting more.
Amen.
So I'm saying it tonight. I'm expecting to come back tomorrow for him to lay hands on me again,
In
so
ministry.
Jesus can heal me. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Love you, my
Amen.
friend. Bless you.
Thank you,
Amen.
guys.
Hey, if God can do it for her, he can do it for you.
Yes, he
Love
can.
you guys.